If you've made a Salesforce Screenflow and you want the Screenflow to automatically pull in the record ID from which the Screenflow was triggered, then I'll show you how to do just that in this very short video. At a high level, it's as simple as creating a variable and calling the variable record ID with a capital I, no spaces, and I'll show you how. And when you create a variable with that name, Salesforce automatically populates that variable with the record ID from which you are triggering your Screenflow as soon as you launch the Screenflow. So what we'll do, create our new variable. So we'll go new resource, variable, and now we've got to spell it exactly like this. Record, capital ID, data type is text, and then press done. Now you can basically build your flow in any way you want. And if you want to refer to the record ID from which you triggered the Screenflow, you can just reference that variable. So what a lot of people do, and I'll show you another screen, is start with a get records element at the start to then pull in all that data from the triggering record. So what I've done, I've got my record ID variable. The first thing I do is get all the data from that record. So in this case, I've got it embedded onto the contact record. So my get records says, for this object contact, get me all of the contacts where the ID is equal to the record ID. So what that's saying is, I want to see the contact record where the ID of that record is the same as the new variable I created, which is the same as the triggering record. Sounds a bit confusing, but it makes sense once you've done it once or twice. Now, just as a matter of proving it, what I've then done is created a very simple screen. All it is a text box. So what it says is, this record is, now I'm going to retrieve the ID from the get records element. So I've created my variable. I've then used get records to pull in the ID and all the information of that contact based on that variable. And then from this screen, I've referenced the ID of that contact record to demonstrate that it is pulling in that data. So I'm going to press done. If I now go to an actual contact record, this button here is what launches that mini Screenflow I just showed you. So it's called record ID flow. All it does is get all the information from this contact, and then it shows me that simple screen where it gives me the ID. So I'm going to press record ID flow. And it says this record ID is that. So that would be the same as the variable that we created, which is what we then used to get the rest of the contact information. Hope that helped. Bye.